Hi, everyone. Here we go. It is November 18th, and let's get going with the starter. Again, yesterday was our formal assessment on document F analysis. Here we go. Let's preview the starter for today, and you should be completing this right now. 2 questions. Based on document F, which country had control of the most territory? And then based on document F, which country or countries did not take over other territories? And again, choose all that apply on this one. Okay. All right, go ahead and do that now. You have a couple of minutes.
You know I'm bad at communication. It's the hardest thing for me to do, and it's it. It's the most important part that relationships will go through. And I give it all away just so I could say that. But I know that you're gonna be okay anyway. You know there's no rhyme or reason for the way it turned out to be. I didn't go and try to change my mind, and not intentionally. I know it's hard to hear me say it, but I can't bear to stay. And I just know that you're gonna be okay anyway. Always keep your heart locked tight. Don't let your mind retire.
All right, let's take a look at the summary page for November 18th to kind of continue to determine the causes of World War I. Standards are the same here, units the same, statement of ideology, impacts, interactions is also the same. Here we go, our synchronous work, we just did the starter. We're gonna begin World War I DBQ bucketing and chicken foot, and then you'll do the ticket out the door. Then your asynchronous work is to complete World War I DBQ bucketing and chicken foot. Let's get into it. So everybody make sure you go to the DBQ right now. You got 30 seconds.
Just couldn't take it. I tried out to beg it, but I fumbled, and when it came down to the wire, it felt bad. It felt right. But I fumbled, and when it came down to the wire, it felt right. It felt right. But I fumbled, and when it came down to the wire,
All right, so if you take a look, here's where you can navigate down to the last option here, bucketing, getting ready to write. Or you can go and hit this arrow multiple times to go through the entire document, all of the DBQ, to get to that one. So we did document F was yesterday. And then here we are, okay? Now, the last time this was a little bit more digital with different spaces that you could put this in. But here's what I want you to do now, right? If you look back over at this page, okay, we're going to go back and forth between these 2 pages. Okay, so let's go to the directions in Canvas. First thing I want you to do is label the 3 buckets again, just like we did before in the pre-bucketing: militarism, alliances, and imperialism. I'm going to use sticky note because I just like the way that that really, for me, it stands out a little bit more. Okay, so militarism. Shrink it down a little bit. And I'm going to put that at the bottom of the document, right there. I'm then going to copy it so I get the same size. Alliances. Okay. I'm going to copy it again, and then imperialism. Now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to, let's do 3 more sticky notes, right? 1 for document A, 1 for document C, and 1 for document F, just like this. A, copy it. C, copy it. F. Now here's what I want you to do. I want you to take these documents. I'm going to give you 1 minute. And I want you to drop them into the bucket if that source, that chart, that map, the whatever it is, right? The graph, if it supports militarism, you're going to take that letter of that document and move it into the bucket. So, you know, it could go here. So you got to look at document A. You can go back to the document if you want, right? You can go back to the documents and see. Make sure it's saved, though. Make sure it's saved. Okay. And then you can go or even open it up in another window so you can see that. I'm going to give you 1 minute, and I want you to put those in the correct bucket, please.
imagination, make you what you want it to be, because I'm sorry I do what I did. the opportunities. I try to stay true to you and I try to do what you wanted from me. And I give it up away just to hear you say that. I know that you're gonna be okay anyway. Always keep your heart locked tight. Don't let your mind read that. Oh, but I just couldn't take it. I tried.
All right, so let's go over this. Hopefully you did these right. So if I'm looking at document A, I know that that's the map that represents the Triple Entente and the Triple Alliance. So that should be going to alliances. From there, trying to think here, document C was all about, is that the growth of armaments, I believe? Okay, so that one's all about militarism. And then document F was the territories that those countries took over and how much of a population was kind of underneath their control. So document F really supports this idea of imperialism. Okay, let's continue down here. So now, let's do the chicken foot again. It's a chicken foot organizer. Actually, I'll give you a little bit of time. I'll give you 30 seconds. We'll move on in 30 seconds to make sure your buckets look exactly like mine. All right, so hopefully you caught up. So now let's scroll down to the chicken foot. So again, I'm gonna use the sticky notes. I just like the way that they look. That looks a little bit better to me. Okay. Now, if you remember correctly from the last time, we're in the chicken foot organizer here. We're gonna complete the chicken foot organizer by following these directions here from this video that you're doing right now, or the live lesson. Rephrase the question in the leg of the chicken foot organizer. So our question is, what were the causes of World War I? What were the causes of World War I? So go ahead and rephrase that as an answer on the leg of the chicken foot. So, you know, the causes of World War I were, okay, and then I'm gonna move that. I'm gonna make it a good size here. I'm gonna move that onto the leg of the chicken foot, right there. Okay, and you could just could be a little different, but it should be. I mean, I'm not sure what else you say. You say World War I was caused by. That would be another good example. So you could do something like that's another good option. Okay, but you have to rephrase all of it. You can't just say the causes were, because I don't know what you're talking about. I need to know that you're talking about World War I. You can't just say, you know, it was caused by, because I don't know what it is. You need to make sure you rephrase basically that entire question as an answer. Okay, now here's where we put. Now these three, this will be easy. We're going to copy it and paste. Okay, pretty much. So we're going to put now, if you look at these directions, write the 3 reasons or the buckets on the 3 talons of the chicken foot organizer. So here we go. I'm going to take this one, militarism. I'm going to copy it. Move it down. I'm going to angle it so it looks good. All right, there we go. Then I'm going to do the same thing with the other 2. Oh, I got to leave that there, though. I got to copy it first. There we go. All right. Alliances. Let me copy this last one. Imperialism. Bring it down here. Rotate it. All right. There we go. That's what we're looking at. So here's the last step, and here's what I want y'all to do on this page. Now I'll give you 1 minute. I'll give you 1 minute to get caught up. Make sure your paper looks exactly like mine.
Always keep your heart locked tight. Don't let your mind read that. hard lock tight. Don't let your mind read that. Oh, but I just couldn't take it. I tried not to beg it, but I fumbled, and when I came down to the wire, but I just couldn't take it. I tried not to beg it, but I fumbled, and
All right, so the last thing I want you to do is we're going to write our thesis statement, okay? We're going to write a thesis statement. Here are the key details of a thesis statement that I'm looking at, okay? And you don't have to put this in there, but I'm just giving you a heads up here. I'm going to put this in here for y'all to see. So for me, in my class specifically, like right now, okay, and this may change later on as you get into 8th grade, high school, other classes, okay, but for me, it needs to be one sentence. I only want one sentence. I'm going to put a number there. Okay. Another thing that my thesis statements have to have that I look for is restate, right? Restate the question. And I'm going to say completely restate the question or entirely, completely restate the question. Okay. And then include three reasons or supporting reasons. Okay. I'm going to add a fourth requirement here. Do not explain. Do not elaborate or explain. It should be short. It should be concise, to the point. Okay, I wonder if I can bold that. Nope, they won't let me. All right. So those are our requirements. So what I want you to do right now is combine the leg and the talons of the chicken foot to develop a thesis statement. And I want you to put it right here at the bottom. I'm going to move that down right there. Okay. And I'm going to give you 90 seconds to see what you can come up with. 90 seconds to see what you can come up with, and then I'll put one in there as well. All right, so let's see what you have. And go ahead and maybe put a few examples in the chat. Put a few examples in the chat as well so we can take a look and see what everybody's working on. You're not going to have a formal assessment on the thesis statement until maybe the next quarter. So we'll continue to work on this together. But again, I hope your thesis statement is only one sentence. I hope you restate the question, include 3 supporting reasons, and don't explain any of the reasons. You don't need to explain them. So I'm going to put my example here as well, okay? And I'm basically going to write exactly what's on our chicken foot organizer. That's the purpose of that organizer. Okay. Causes of World War I were, and I'm not going to capitalize them here. Okay. Militarism, alliances, and imperialism. There you go. Another option is, okay, and this is maybe what you have. World War I was caused by militarism, alliances, and imperialism. You really shouldn't have much more than that at all. You don't need to say the causes of World War I were militarism because everyone spent lots of money on their military, alliances because they had friends, and imperialism because they took over other countries. You don't need, you shouldn't say that. Okay, that's what the rest of an essay is. All we're doing is just getting to the thesis statement. Kind of you short, concise, answer the question directly. Okay, restate the question, one sentence, and include 3 supporting reasons. Any questions? Y'all put them in the chat. I'll give you 30 seconds, and then we'll move on.
I wish you could live forever. Wish you would never ever have to feel pain. Hope you stay away from sin. I wish you nothing but love. Hope you'll never feel lost. Wish I could explain why some things ain't the same. I hope that you find somebody and that somebody loves you unconditionally and never puts a thing above you. I wish you never get cheated on or betrayed. Wish you learn from every single one of your mistakes. Hope one day you'll find peace within yourself. I do, 'cause the only
All right, so last thing we need you to do is go to the ticket out the door. And again, this should be very clear, hundreds every time for everybody, please, please, please. Objective, unit, statement of inquiry, and asynchronous work. And honestly, there really shouldn't be, you need to get that right, but there shouldn't be much asynchronous work because we just did everything together in class. All right, so if you have any questions, stay on, you can put them in the chat. Thank you.